welcome back to an episode of Rolling About. I'm your host, Zach Moore. We are back for an episode of NASCAR content to cover. Looking forward to jumping into today's episode. I did end up posting a race review from Bristol, so if you feel like wanting to check out what I had to say about the Bristol race, go check that out. Besides that, let's rock into the video. I wanted to cover it's Chase Elliott's throwback paint scheme for Darlington race weekend, throwback weekend. He's throwing it back to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 2014 Daytona 500 race win car. It was when he was sponsored by the American Guard. It's got the American Guard's colors and scheme, but with a UniFirst sponsorship all over it. UniFirst will be the main sponsor for that race. Overall, the scheme is cool. It's cool as he's paying homage to Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that win. Winning the Great American race, it's always a big deal, especially when Dale Earnhardt Jr. was winning it, and also he became a two-time champ. It's really cool. I think the number can always kind of mess it up, but I feel like if a Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan saw this, who was a hardcore fan, you didn't have anything on it, and you just showed them like the overall scheme with no sponsorship, I think they would know what it was or what they thought it was. Hendrick Motorsports did some full-on teasing with this, like maybe Dale Earnhardt Jr. was returning, because he had this video of this person walking in this fire suit. It was wearing an American Guard fire suit, and he bends down, he messes with his pant leg. And it also shows Alpha Prime, I believe, which is the company that Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s suits are made from. And also the shoe was also that. And he's also wearing skull gloves, which is a very famous thing Dale Earnhardt Jr. wears. He wears skull gloves. So that's people, oh man, this is Dale Earnhardt Jr. coming back. But then people were like, oh, this has to be American Guard. Throwback, maybe William Byron. But then some people were saying, hey, maybe Dale Earnhardt Jr. is replacing Kyle Larson in the All-Star race for North Wilkesboro, because that same weekend is when there's the Indy 500 qualifying. But all in all, it ended up being a throwback to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s American Guard scheme. And also the thing is, Dale Earnhardt Jr. I think said in previous interviews that he was never going to run Cup again, and I think that's going to stay true. But I mean, it wouldn't have been freaking sick if that was the announcement that he was running the All-Star race and replacing Kyle Larson. That place easily would have got sold out. It would have been one of the biggest things going on in NASCAR. And one of the biggest storylines leading into the All-Star race. Would have been absolutely sick. But overall, awesome throwback. Next thing, Fox TV got 3.8 million viewers for this past Sunday's Food City 500, up 10% from last year's Food City 500. This is a big deal, big get for NASCAR. Another increase for the weekend. This was the number 2 sporting event of the weekend. Number 1 was the March Madness selection show. NASCAR did beat the Players, which is a PGA Tour golf tournament, big golf tournament. So for NASCAR to beat the PGA Tour in ratings and viewership is a big deal, in my opinion. Overall race was one of the most drama-filled, unpredictable races due to the fact that the tire life was so low. You could only go around 40 laps before your tires were seeing some serious wear. It made for an incredible and entertaining, probably the best short track race we've seen in the next-gen era. So overall, just to see an increase in ratings still, this was the first non-4 million viewed race of the season. But still, to me, if you have an increase in viewership from what last year's viewership was, that to me is a good get. So overall, another great week for NASCAR's viewership. Next thing, some big news. Matt dibenedetto has finally found a ride. He'll be driving for Viking Motorsports starting next week at Richmond Raceway. He'll be driving the 38 car. It looks like it'll be like they have an alliance with RSS, which I also think believes Ryan Seed Racing. The 38 car. The 38 car has been driven this year with C.J. McLaughlin, but after 2 bad qualifying runs and not making the race, I think they decided to make a switch. So Matt dibenedetto will get the opportunity to race, and at least it looks like from the front stretch article that I'm reading, I'll link the entire article down below. They plan to at least run 5 races, but hopefully the goal is to hopefully run the majority of the next 29 Xfinity Series races. So I guess there's 29 races left in the Xfinity Series season. They hope to win the majority of those. This is what Matt dibenedetto had to say on this opportunity. After starting 2024 with no ride, it's been an interesting test of faith. dibenedetto tells Front Stretch, although I have some business and things outside of racing, it doesn't fill the void of racing in NASCAR. This opportunity with Viking and the No 38 team not only excite the heck out of me for the sake of getting back behind the wheel, but also because I can sense the passion and the commitment to sport from Don and the whole group. And that quote is that he's very, very excited to get back behind the wheel. Does not, I guess he has other businesses and he's, hopefully profiting from and making a living off of, but it definitely doesn't fill the void for him racing in NASCAR. I think it's going to be a fine opportunity. I don't know, 38, I don't think, Ryan C Racing is, I know the 39 car has run pretty well. They're good in points. They've been competitive, but it's a smaller team, so I don't expect the 38 to be a super competitive team. But if he can run, top 25 once in a while, I think that'd be good. But this is just a great opportunity for Matt to race again. We'll see how he does. Because I know he wants to probably, hopefully, this deal can hopefully lead to other deals and maybe a full-time deal with better rides. But I don't expect that with this ride. Overall, this is great. Matt DiBenedetto will finally get to go back behind the wheel and race in NASCAR again. So I think this is great. It's great for those fans that support him. So awesome news for Matty D. Next thing I want to go over is the playoff grid so far after 5 races in the NASCAR Cup Series season. I want to review where some drivers are. Some drivers are in a great position. Some people that aren't. Some drivers that need to pick it up. I'm using Taylor Kitchen's grid, the playoff grid. She's an up-and-coming journalist for NASCAR. She does a great job. There's a show called Above the Yellow Line. I enjoy listening to it. She's really active on X. Has got a lot of great insight. So let's review the top 16 in the playoffs right now. Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, William Byron, Daniel Suarez, Martin Truex Jr., Ty Gibbs, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick, Alex Bowman, Frank Keselowski, Christopher Buescher, John Nemechek, and Kyle Busch. Now look over this playoff grid. I want to start off in the people that are in the red. And I want to start with Zane Smith. He is minus 81 from the cutoff line. This guy is almost, in my opinion, in a must-win situation. And we're only 5 races in. He's just had a disappointing year. And who knows? A lot of it, he's getting a lot of wrecks, but also he's running in the back. And maybe, there's a lot of hype from Spire this year, but he's just not running great. And I guess that third Spire car is it's not that good. Or Zane Smith isn't that good. Because it just stinks for Zane. Because he got signed Trackhouse, and I know he wants to race for Trackhouse. And I bet you those cars are a lot better. I think Zane will probably perform better for Trackhouse, but this doesn't really help his case. Third Spire car. Right now you got SVG, you got Connor Zilic, who's also coming out, who's looking pretty well. A lot of these other drivers that are signed to Trackhouse, they're also trying to get that Trackhouse ride in the future. Now, Connor Zilic is 17. He's much younger. So I don't see Connor Zilic coming to the Cup Series, for the next couple of years. But SVG is trying to get that ride. But who knows about SVG either? We really don't know how Trackhouse lineup will look next year. I see Ross Chastain locking up that one car for many, many years, especially with the Busch deal, the Busch beer deal. Daniel Suarez did win a race, and his owner, Justin Marks did say he doesn't see the future of Trackhouse without Daniel Suarez, so we don't know there. But I think Zane Smith needs to win, and he really needs to start picking up and have some better runs. Noah Gragson, not really. He got a penalty there with the roof rail deflector, so there's not much. I'm not going to critique him that much. But Harrison Burton, minus 64 back, he needs to pick it up, and because he's in a bad situation, he has to somehow get better finishes. I think his average finish is like 30 something. He doesn't have a good average finish. His seat is very hot. It's real hot because we got Cole Custer and Riley Herbst, who are both looking pretty good in the Xfinity Series. They're both probably are going to look for Cup Series rides, especially Cole Custer if he hasn't had a great year, especially with Stuart Haas. I think all 4 of those guys right now are Stuart Haas. Who knows how that could go, how those guys perform. Who knows, Stuart Haas could lead Ford, so we don't really know what the future will look like there. But Harrison Burton, I think, is in a big situation where he needs to pick it up as well and put some good finishes or win a race if he wants to see his seat being secured. Also, Austin Dillon, dude, has also had a freaking terrible year so far after 5 races. This is how he's always been, I feel like. Austin Dillon has never been someone that can come back from points. I can't remember out of all his 10 plus, this is a 10 season in the Cup Series. Out of all those years, he's not a guy who can come back from points. In my opinion, he's going to be a guy that has to win. And the only places I see him winning right now are the super speedways. So he's not a guy that I'm very worried about, and I've always been worried about Austin Dillon. Justin Haley, not bad. He's in a repair card. I don't expect much from him, even though I know he expects a lot from him. Josh Berry, same thing. I'm a little disappointed with him. His teammates are both running pretty good right now in the point system. But we'll see about him, how he performs in the next couple of races. If it gets to these short tracks, which he's really good at short tracks, we'll see there. And then Joey Logano. I know he gained some spots in the points, but also minus 48 back. That's not great. He's running a Penske car, dude. He has 2 poles. He had back-to-back poles. Well, excuse me, back-to-back front rows. But he only has one top 10 so far this year. Now he's out Las Vegas. He has the average finish of 25th. So he needs to pick it up. Even Austin Cindric isn't running that great either. He's minus 29. So, I thought Austin Cindric looked pretty strong at the super speedways, but anywhere else he hasn't looked really great either. So he's also, I expect more. Also Corey LaJoy in minus 36. I expect a little bit more from him. I don't know, man. What's going on with him? Even Carson Hocevar minus 42. Spire cars there's a lot of hype with them, and I know it's only 5 races in, but where's that at? They both expect to make the playoffs, and really the only way I see them making the playoffs overall, I never believe they're going to make it on points, but I expect them. They're going to have to win, really, and I don't know if I expect them to win yet. I don't know, man. I'm a little worried about them. I would say, Chase Briscoe minus 15 from the cut line. He's running pretty well, and that's good for Stuart Haas. Stuart Haas, I can tell, has a lot more speed than they had last year. So that's good for Chase Briscoe. I think he's in a great situation after 5 races. And also, Aaron Jones, minus 21st, not bad year. Bubba Wallace, minus 15. Good spot right now after 5 races. Maybe you expect him to be some people may expect Bubba to be already in the top 16, but it's fine. You're only 5 races in. You're in a good position. You're in a good position way to fight for points. And then Michael McDowell, another great run. Michael McDowell is minus 12, so that's really good. But his teammate, Todd Gilliland, is minus 59. And they're both technically a tier 1 team now. Now, I assume maybe Michael McDowell's getting more support, or Michael McDowell is just a better driver, which I would agree that he is the better driver. Todd Gilliland needs to step it up because he's in also a big situation where I could see Riley Herbst take over that Front Row Motorsports car because he's already raced for Front Row Motorsports in Super Speedway racing. So that's also something that Todd Gilliland has to pick it up too. Minus 59, he's also in a situation where I feel like he's got to win now. I don't see him coming back from, minus 59 points. He just doesn't seem that caliber driver. Now, we get into the green. We got to start off with Kyle freaking Busch. Are you serious, man? He was once the top of the points first, and now he's minus 12. He just has no confidence, no mojo. I'm a little worried. And I know they have not been good at the short tracks, and that's where, they have lacked. So he needs to pick it up there, and it's a little worrying for Kyle Busch. I'm worried. I know I saw a video of him right after the race. He didn't do any media. He just got out of his car and left the track. Went through the pedestrian tunnel. He was out. So I don't know if there's a lot of confidence there with Kyle Busch. Johnny Nemechek, wow, 14th, plus 14th. He's in the playoffs right now, and his teammate Aaron Jones isn't. So that's a big deal for. This is against, Aaron Jones. Next one is John Nemechek. John Hunter Nemechek is plus 14. That's great. He's in the top 16. This is like John Nemechek's resurgence. He was with, Front Row Motorsports for a couple of years, didn't do great there, and he decided to go back in the Xfinity Series and re-prove himself, re-win again, and got himself a way better opportunity at Lazy Motor Club with Tier 1 support from Toyota. And showing he's a good driver, he's talented. In the playoffs, he's in the playoffs, and his teammate Aaron Jones, who's more the veteran driver and the more experienced driver, is not in the playoffs yet. So that's a big deal. Brian Keselowski is plus 15. That guy was, I believe, almost after 2 races, he was like 30th something in points. He was way low. There's a little worried. They weren't really showing speed. He finished 13th in Las Vegas, which was good. But now back-to-back top 5s, Phoenix, Bristol, he was fast. He got a ton of stage points at Bristol, so I'm feeling pretty confident if I'm a Brian Keselowski fan about him. Plus 15. Alex Bowman didn't make the playoffs last year, plus 22. Ty Rennick, plus 27. Russ Chastain, plus 41. Chase Elliott didn't make the playoffs last year because of his injury, I would say, plus 42. Ryan Blaney, the champ, plus 67. And then Ty Gibbs, plus 68. The guy he also didn't make the playoffs last year was rookie year, and he's looking like I've already said it. A lot of fans believe that Ty Gibbs is going to win the race, and he was close to winning one in Bristol. I picked him, came up short, but he's really good in points. Martin Truex, plus 75. Overall, I think every 5 races I'll do a playoff grid rundown. I'll see where people are. I'll give you my thoughts on who I think I would be worried about, who I think is in a good position. But the last 10 races of the regular season, I'll probably review the overall playoff grid every freaking race. because that's when it's really going to matter points. Well, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought about everything I talked about today. What do you think about Chase Elliott's throwback? What do you think about the TV ratings? What do you think about Matt dibenedetto coming back and racing? I'm happy for him. And then what do you think about who you think is in trouble in the overall playoff point systems right now, as we're in only 5 races. Besides that, thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.